Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
We good? Let's wait. Erica, knock, knock.
Who's there?
I don't know. Oh. Do you have a good knock, knock? Do you remember any of them from like when we were growing up?
Knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo hoo.
It's just a joke. You don't have to cry about it.
Good one.
Remember the one that I told on our happy hour call about Reese Witherspoon? Did you guys hear about that celebrity that got murdered?
No.
It was Reese.
Reese who?
Reese. What's her last name?
Witherspoon.
No.
Oh, we're at 10. Yay. Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing? Hope you're good. We're over here sipping our lattes. Cheers.
Cheers.
So good. If you guys have not tried the Keurig McCafe 2-step latte, do it. It's good.
Pretty good.
So, just a quick little recap. This is the final week for you guys to make a comment. Do I need to move this way?
You're good.
Okay, sorry. Last week for you guys to make a comment on our live video in order for your chance to be entered into a raffle for that Instant Pot. So do it. Comment away. I want to make sure that you guys are also incorporating your tips that we talked about last week for your morning routine and your bedtime routine. If you didn't tune in last week, go back and check it out. It was awesome. So I hope you guys are still, killing all those tips and tricks that we talked about and just getting into those good routines. What we're going to talk to you guys about today, I'm sorry, Coach Alicia, Coach Erica, sorry, gotta introduce us. We're going to talk to you about the motivation for a new normal. So I know things are starting to open back up and it's getting a little like, I don't know, there's certain things that are open, certain things that won't be. So we just want to kind of talk to you guys about what that's going to look like and just giving you guys some positive things and motivation to just get back into the world, even if that looks a little bit different. So, got some things you want to add?
Yeah, just what she said. We've been living this crazy, scary life for the last couple months. And everybody's talking about, getting back into the new normal. And that can be kind of scary. So everything today is just going to be kind of a motivational, uplifting, confidence boosting, almost like a little podcast here, a live podcast to get you excited about kind of getting back to normal. So listen up if you would like some good tips on how to slay 2020, the rest of 2020.
The rest of it, because the first part has been.
We're just going to forget about the first
Yeah.
one.
I'm just trying to get on here and see if we got any comments real quick. I want to make sure. Oh, Maria said cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, don't forget to drink your water. I've had mine. Erica's got hers too. I just wanted them to have them as in Megan's behind the camera. I wanted them to have a little treat this morning, so they got some lattes. So, but we've all had our water. And let's see who else we've got. Oh, my sister said good morning. Terry. And Terry said, I'm getting up earlier but can't seem just to get up and work out. I'm slow. Maria said slay 2020. All right, let's do it.
Okay. So what I have is 3 tips. 3 tips for you to kind of get back full speed ahead into the new normal. So first, we're going to talk about accepting the new normal. Some people, they don't like change, and that's okay. But let's be real. Things are going to be different. Things are going to be changing. So, in my opinion, the best way to deal with that is to just kind of accept the new normal. We can't change the fact that COVID-19 has flipped our lives upside down, but you all have done a really great job so far of adapting to a different life of work at home, or maybe not working at all, working with the kids at the house, homeschooling the kids, having to hunt for toilet paper. So you're off to a good start. But I just want you to try to be at peace with the fact that we are going to have to practice, social distancing for a little while longer. The kids are not going to be going back to school. Your hands are still going to be dry and scaly and flaky because you're still going to have to wash them 10,000 times, and you should be doing that anyways. So just kind of think, all right, it is what it is, just be at peace with it and just keep trying to live your best life despite a little bit of change. When everything changes, it's a really good time to kind of recalibrate and tackle the changes like the bosses that you are, and not let those things hold you back. Things are going to be a little bit different, but you shouldn't let it derail you so bad that it's causing you lots of stress. So let's set our sights on the rest of 2020, and we're going to hashtag slay 2020. So next up, I want you to be grateful for where you are and what you have. So let's think about this. It's 9:36 in the morning, so you haven't had that much time to complain yet today. I was trying to think about it, and I think I've only complained about one thing so far, and that is the wind. But think to yourself, how many times have you caught yourself complaining today? Or think about yesterday, think about how many times you caught yourself complaining. Complaining can be a trap that sabotages our happiness and success. Think about that. It's deep. That's complaining can be a trap that sabotages our happiness and success. It's easy to get caught in that trap when the media, is going crazy, and people on Facebook and friends and family are all complaining too. When everybody else is complaining, it's super easy to kind of just fall into that and complain as well. But what does complaining do for us? Why do we complain? It's not productive. It doesn't change anything. It's doing nothing for our new plans to hashtag slay 2020. So we're going to nip it in the bud right now. For the rest of the day, I'm challenging you to not complain. If you've already complained today, that's okay, just forget about it. But for the rest of the day, you're going to try to not complain. So this is going to be hard, but it's going to teach you to be a little bit more mindful and purposeful about your thoughts. When you feel the negativity coming on, you can turn it into something positive if you want. You can bite your tongue, whatever you need to do. We just don't, we want to see what it's like to not have those negative comments controlling us for the day. At the end of the day, I want you to evaluate how you feel and reflect on the positive things in your life. So how many things can you list that you're grateful for, and use those things to fuel you for the next day, or fuel your ambition to start and end the day with a grateful heart. So some things that I think I'm grateful for, that I try to think about a lot when I'm feeling negative or feeling like complaining. Definitely my family and my friends, especially that they're healthy, and I currently don't know anyone who has been affected, but has not been diagnosed with COVID-19. I'm thankful for my house and my little oasis out in the woods and my animals. So I just keep trying to bring those things back into my head and use that as motivation to make my family proud and be the best version of myself. So speaking of yourself, believing in yourself is my last tip. I have a little story for you. So I am strong, I am confident, I can do all things. I learned this little mantra during my internship in college. I was helping a men's and women's recovery group train for the Flying Pig in Cincinnati, the 5K and the 10K. So these were men and women that were trapped by addiction and had never really known what it was like to finish something or to complete something, let alone a 5K or a 10K. So each week we would meet a couple times a week and do little training runs together. And for some people, even just going like a quarter of a mile, even walking, not even running the quarter of a mile was really difficult for them. So what we would fall back on is just repeating, I'm strong, I'm confident, I can do all things. And whenever we got tired or felt like we couldn't keep going anymore, we would just repeat and repeat until we got through what we were doing. So positive self-talk is a simple little trick that can change your mindset almost like instantly. So keep that in mind. You can make like your own little mantra, I don't even know how you say it. In the practice of regular self-talk, we'll keep that negativity at bay. So we're all strong and amazing humans, and I want you to keep that in mind all the time, and we're not going to let any roadblocks stop us from propelling forward. So we might get tripped up and we might stumble a little bit, and that's okay, especially as we try to get used to the new normal. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to be the change. So you can try my little mantra today. You can try to create your own. And when things get tough, just try to repeat that to yourself. So I would love you guys to consider these 3 things as we start to transition into the new normal. I want you to lift yourself up and be the best version of yourself going forward. And I know and I believe that you can do this. So we can slay #2020.
I feel like that was a mic drop.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I can't even talk now.
On Monday, when I was writing this, when I was, like doing my research and just trying to think about what I wanted to say today, I was like, yes, let's go, woo, life. So I hope they have to. I hope you can come back to this little video and be like, oh, I need Erica to lift me up tonight.
Right?
You can call me too if you want, or like message me, and I'll try to, keep the motivation flowing.
Yeah, I mean, I think mine's not gonna be as good now, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm going through these comments real quick, and a couple things that. Oh, Terry's grateful for you, and our good old rec coordinator said, "Oh, I can't believe you want me to not complain the rest of the day." Then he said, "Okay, I'm done." We love you, Patrick. Somebody else said, let's see, Terry said, "Be the change." Good morning, Carrie. And Sarah's laughing at you. Sarah Maggard. And all right, so one thing I wanted to add about the complaints. You guys have heard of the old swear jar, right? You throw some money in if you swear. Let's do that.
That's how I make all my money. This is just my side job.
Let's try that with some complaints. Put up a little jar, and every time that you complain, just throw some money in it. I think that, during times right now, you're going to want all that money that you can have, so.
What you could do for the kids is you could reverse it. So you could fill a jar with something, I don't know, Super Balls or marbles or something like that. Fill the jar, and then if they complain, you take it out. And if there's nothing left in the jar, then they don't get, ice cream at the end of the day or something like that.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Or they have to go on a walk, or they have to do some
Or send them to exercise. You have to do the live exercise video with TMMK Fitness.
Ooh, speaking of that, Pio tonight. That would be a good start. Join me 5:45. Little plug.
We've been without Pio for so long.
So long, and I am so ready to get back to it. I cannot wait. Seriously, join me tonight. Carrie also said negativity breeds negativity, so she loves the idea of the positive self-talk. Because if we're not going to talk to ourselves positive, we're not going to talk to anybody else around us positive. You're not going to talk to your dogs positive. I mean, if you're at home with just your pets, they're not going to talk positive self-talk to you, so you got to do it yourself. All right, so I am going to, I kind of want to do a little bit of a spin here. So I want you guys to start thinking about things that are actually working for you right now and what you have found to be important to you during this time. I know we've just been kind of foggy with everything, and everywhere you turn, left, right, up, down, there's some sort of media about this is true, no, this is true, this happened, no, this happened, and you don't know what to believe. So you kind of have to come back to your center. What is important for you? What has been working for you? And that you, as in you, your family, your whole schedule, your routine, what we talked about a couple weeks ago, what has been working for you? Are you sitting down to eat with your family? Are you making those meals? Are you going on walks with your dog? Are you talking to your neighbors because everybody's out now? Are you reading a new genre of books that you never thought you'd like before? I want you to take that time to write them down so that, and put them somewhere visible. Put them on your fridge. Put them on the mirror in your bathroom. Put it in your phone as a reminder. I don't know, something that you can come back to. And it's important to you now when we're in the midst of crazy. So when we're in the midst of a new crazy, which is the new normal, you remember what's important to you. When we couldn't do the things that we loved, like going to the gym, going to work, hugging our family, hugging our friends, sitting and having, like just a conversation with people in a coffee shop. Like when all of that is stripped away from us, what are the raw core things that are important to you? And that's what you come back to. Especially as that world really starts to spin again and our lives start to pick up again, even if it looks different, I want you to come back to that center. So I may be aging myself a little bit because Megan told me she didn't know who this was. But the song I Get Knocked Down But I Get Up Again by Chumbawamba, anybody with me? I think that might be a little bit, we might be aging ourselves, but that's okay. So we may feel like we've been knocked down, but guess what? We're gonna get back up. We are resilient human beings. We've been created to go through quite a bit. So I'm sure we can get through this. So I know the beginning of 2020 did not look the way that we all thought it would, especially for, I look on Facebook and, your 5th grade graduation, 8th grade graduations, obviously your seniors who they're graduating and they didn't get to finish out their year. Like I remember, finishing out the year with my friends back in my senior year and how that looks different now. And so, yes, that looks completely different than what we thought. But I want to, and even thinking about New Year's resolutions, those kind of went, those were completely
What
derailed,
resolutions?
right? Which I personally, if you talk to me about resolutions, I'm not a huge fan of them. Because I just think it's the worst time of the year to make any sort of change. You just came off 2 holidays, stress of Christmas, all of those things. And it's crummy outside and, so now that we've had time to kind of reset, the weather is actually starting to perk up even though the wind, Erica was complaining about it this morning. I want us to let's just get that ball rolling to help us to slay 2020, right? Hashtag. So, how are we gonna do that? I want you guys to set a goal for yourself, or goals. So think about what you're trying to accomplish before we got derailed. Is that even important to you now? Do you have something new maybe that you want to accomplish? Or, whatever that looks like for you, I want you to write it down somewhere visible. Just like I want you to write down those things that are important to you now, I want you to set a new goal and write it down. Because it's not going to happen if you don't write it down somewhere. Even if you're just like, I'm going to run a 5K. Okay, we'll write it down. We got to lock in on those goals. But then, you have to give yourself some contingencies after you set that goal. One thing I've learned through all of this is to give myself some grace. Things may not be done the way that it looks like in our head or on paper, and that's okay. I know that I've seen a lot of things on social media about people, if you haven't accomplished X, Y, and Z during this time, then you're not using your time wisely. That's not true. That's not how self-care works. You can't force yourself to do something if you don't want to do it. You can't force yourself in this time to get all the projects done and so you might have to go out and get some paint. Well, you don't really want to go to get the paint because of all the things that are going on. So don't beat yourself up if you didn't get things done. But setting that goal and then those contingencies. Okay, if this doesn't get done or if I don't get to it, then am I gonna be okay with that? Things have been ever evolving, especially, day to day, things are always changing right now. So why can't that be the same approach to your goals? If I've known a lot of people that if let's say they're on a weight loss goal and they're working out 3 to 4 days a week normally and they're eating really healthy, but finally they eat a bad meal and they're like, oh, well, that was a bad meal, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you have to give yourself some contingencies, and if it's not working for you, is that goal worth it? Is it too lofty of a goal? Or, are you just not approaching it the right way? So you gotta give yourself some time to reassess if that goal is not working. So when you reassess, you allow yourself to check in and give yourself an honest assessment of where you're at. So are you not reaching it because you're not excited about it? Because let's face it, if you're not excited about doing something, it's not gonna be worth your time. So if you're not excited about it, then tweak it. Maybe there's just something that was holding you back a little bit that you can just tweak, and then go for it again. Or try again. Like, are you taking one giant step towards your goal, or can you break it down into tiny micro steps? Maybe that one giant step is just way too big for you to tackle all at once. So with those little micro steps put in place, it doesn't matter how long it takes or how far you have to go to reach your goal, as long as you're taking those steps to get you there. So, anything you want to add for that? No? All right, and then one more thing that I want to talk about before I kind of start to ask you guys some things. The only other thing that you can do as we get back to our new normal is controlling your own environment. So while things are beginning to open back up and it's scary to think about going outside of our little safe haven at home, you're going to constantly question, our business is taking every necessary precaution to ensure my safety. Or wait, did that person just sneeze? Oh my gosh, run, right? Because it's scary. Or even thinking about the person in front of you walking the door, you're like, wait, are their hands clean? Like, can I use my shirt to open this door so that I don't have to use my hands? And then I'm running through my house, still even, scrubbing down every handle and doorknob and spraying Lysol whenever I walk by the can. I'm still doing that, and I think that those are practices that we should still be doing.
Normal.
Right, yeah, it's a new normal. And I think that, I'm the resident germaphobe. All of my coworkers, all of my friends, my mom, everybody knows that. So I try to keep things, my hands especially. My hands actually have not been super dry because I think they're just used to.
It must be that gold bind.
It's gotta be the cold bind. My hands are just used to constantly being washed and sanitized, I guess. But you can control your own environment. The only question that you can answer without a doubt are the steps that you are taking in your own environment. I know that, let's face it, Erica and Megan are in my house right now. I know coming in that they're coming into a place that is safe for them because my house is clean, okay? It's been sanitized, it's been Lysol, it's huge. Yeah, they're safe. I would never have invited them in. I know they would feel safe coming in here. So, excuse me. I'm talking too much, that's what it is. And then the other things that you can control too are the precautions that you take while you're out and about running those essential errands. Keep those up regardless of how long it takes for businesses to open. Take precautions. You have no idea what the next person is doing. Just like, wearing a mask. You're not only protecting yourself, you're protecting the other people around you. So you just want to take those precautions and, just understand that everybody's trying their best and, try to, keep things clean. And hopefully when you go into those stores, just wear your gloves, wear your mask, I don't know, and then don't stress about what you can't control. So, Patrick said I share a desk peninsula with a coworker. Can I trust her? Only on the west side. All right, so a couple things. I just really want to challenge you guys to start setting your own goals. Writing down the things that are important to you now, and make them visible, make it realistic, and give yourself some contingencies with those goals. you have anything that you want to add?
Does anybody have any mantras that they use? Any positive self-talk statements that others might enjoy? You can comment them below.
It's a good one. Casey said, "That's true, Alicia. You always hit that sanitizer even before all of this." It's true. Every time I walk past the sanitizer in the gym. Let's see what other comments we got on here. Oh, Sarah Marinelli said she's can't wait for PIO. I'm just so excited. Oh, Erica Green said that she loves that idea, but she wished it would work for teenagers. About the jar, taking things out. Let's see, we got anybody else? Anybody else? No more comments.
Alright. Well, I think that wraps us up for today.
No.
Hopefully you guys got a little positivity boost and a self-confidence boost. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or concerns, or even later today if you think about something that pertains to what we talked about today. Remember your challenges for today. No more complaining. Let me know how that goes.
Set yourself some goals too. All right, goals, and writing down what's important to you, just so that you don't forget it when the world starts spinning and we're going back to the new normal. Slay 2020.
Hashtag Slay 2020!
We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.